So, are you convinced that your stress is created by hot thoughts that lead to the feeling and the emotion of stress? My guess is that you're surprised by how stress-inducing your thoughts actually are. And that's a good thing, because having insight into your stress process, that's half the battle. Which leads us to our topic for this week. Now that you're cluing into your hot thoughts and beginning to challenge those thoughts, you're probably starting to ask yourself, how in the world did I ever start thinking this way? Think about it. Where did you learn to maintain connectedness with other people? When did you adopt the beliefs you have about what makes you significant? Where did you learn how to gain acceptance and avoid isolation? You learned these core beliefs early in life from your parents, your siblings, and your interactions with kids at school or in the neighborhood. It might have even been interactions you had with a roommate in college, your high school girlfriend, or your first boss. Whatever the case, these core beliefs about ourselves, the world, and others are literally the foundation upon which we build our thoughts in any given situation, relationship, or environment. In other words, the hot thoughts that drive our stress were developed within the context of the core beliefs about life we learned earlier in life through our experiences, the experiences we actually had with other people. Although hot thoughts are driven by core beliefs, there are some important distinctions I want to make you aware of. The most important distinction is their source. Hot thoughts are responses to specific situations, things that are actually happening right here, right now. In contrast, core beliefs are general rules about life learned early on that cut across many situations. So here's the thing about core beliefs. You can't point to core beliefs consciously. They lie beneath your conscious awareness. But there is good news. Although core beliefs aren't immediately conscious, you can figure out what your core beliefs are if you give it enough thought, because they're not totally unconscious either. They're actually what I call pre-conscious, which means you can access your core beliefs if you take the time to analyze them. So I want to tell you about one core belief in particular that many people struggle with, that is underneath lots of the stress in our everyday life. This core belief is called people pleasing, and it's a major problem for most of us at some point in our life. The people pleasing core belief tells you that you're acceptable, worthwhile, significant, lovable, or okay if other people approve of you and your actions. Now, the opposite is true as well. The people-pleasing core belief also tells you that you're not acceptable, you're not worthwhile, you're not significant or lovable if other people don't approve of you and your actions. Do you have a people-pleasing core belief? This is a question that we should all be willing to ask if we want to live less stressed life. Here's some things that you can start to ask yourself that will help you tease this out. Number 1, are you a good team player? Number 2, are you easy to get along with? Number 3, do you pride yourself on being laid back and a master of avoiding conflict? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you might lean towards a people-pleasing core belief. In short, this belief system causes people to seek the approval of others in order to feel significant, worthwhile, lovable, and worthy of connection with other people. Some examples of the thoughts that drive a people-pleasing core belief include things like this. To be a good person, other people should approve of the things I do. If people really knew me, they would think I am a weak, maybe even an uninteresting person. Another variation of this thought that I hear a lot in the clinical office sounds like this. If people really knew me, they would just think I'm a broken, messed up person. Here's another thought. I am fully responsible for the feelings of others. Others will love me more if I'm always selfless. If I sacrifice myself on the altar of other people's needs, then I'm a good friend, I'm a good spouse, I'm a good employee, I'm a good girlfriend, I'm a good boyfriend. And then finally, this kind of sums it all up. People are bound to reject me. I'm just not enough. I'm never going to be enough. If you consistently have thoughts that center on stress over not pleasing others, over being rejected, or being in conflict with others, you probably have a people-pleasing core belief. Another way you can determine if people-pleasing issues are causing some of your hot thoughts is to think intentionally about your experience growing up. Think about your interaction with your mom and dad, with your brothers and sisters and friends from the neighborhood. Obviously, Most people will be more comfortable thinking about the more positive childhood memories, and I get that. But as you consider the breadth of your experience as a child, do you have significant memories of feeling rejected or blamed or teased? Think back to like junior high school, high school. Do you have these memories of feeling like, man, I'm just not enough? If so, you probably have some people-pleasing core beliefs that are driving some of your hot thoughts. I hope that you're starting to get a feel for just how much you struggle with a people-pleasing core belief. Although you probably can't link all of your stress back to people-pleasing, my hunch is that it's a piece of the puzzle for most of us. There are other core beliefs that have been linked to stress, and we'll talk about those in future videos. But for now, your job is to attempt to gain insight into how people-pleasing might be driving your negative thoughts in the moment. As you work on developing this insight, just know this: the more you understand about core beliefs and how they drive your hot thoughts, the more power you're going to have over your stress.